back the Cajun Dome, one of the great home court advantages in college basketball, and Tennessee arrives here at the Cajun Dome at 4-2. The Raging Cajuns, a tough luck 1-3. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Perry Clark. Welcome to a night of college basketball in the Cajun Dome. This is quite a place. And Tennessee comes in here, Perry, with 2 losses. Both of them came last weekend in New York. Maybe a team showing its youth in those 2 losses. 2 very good teams, Butler and North Carolina.
Well, Rich, they really did. The one thing Tennessee has really been known for is their three-point shooting. They did not shoot the ball very well in New York. The other thing is they turned the ball over much too much. I'm sure Coach Pearl's going to try to clean that up tonight.
2 losses, and out of the top 25 drops Tennessee. They don't call them the Raging Cajuns for nothing, home crowd.
Well, this is one of the toughest places to play in this state, maybe in the country. This crowd, they've got to feed off their enthusiasm. They've got 2 outstanding scores. It should be a hot night in the Cajun Dome.
Spoken by a man who had a lot of success coaching college basketball in this state. We've got Tennessee, we've got Louisiana Lafayette, and we got some hot shooting guards. We'll introduce you to them when we get back. Chris Lofton on display tonight. They're arriving at the Cajun Dome, ready for the Raging Cajuns and the Volunteers, and some folks have made the trip from Tennessee to see Tennessee and Louisiana Lafayette and to see some very good shooting guards. All right, Coach Clark, let's talk about these guards. Let's start with Tennessee. What makes Chris Lofton so special?
I tell you what, Chris Lofton has taken his game to another level. Last year he was the best catch-and-shoot guard in the SEC. Now he's learned to put the ball on the floor. That's trouble for the rest of the SEC. For the Raging Cajuns,
Dees and Mouton at the top. They need Willie Lego to play well at the point guard spot. Other side for Tennessee, Jordan Howell inserted in the starting lineup. He gets the start at the point for Tennessee. Volunteers, Raging Cajuns. Tennessee finds himself on the road in the Cajun Dome. Let's tip it off. Tennessee dropping out of the top 25, which was just released about 3 hours ago. And the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette, they may be 1-3, but it's a tough 1-3. An overtime loss to Cal State Fullerton their last time out. And of course, for Bruce Pearl and the Volunteers, they were down 21 to number 2 North Carolina. Had a good second half, and he hopes that that second half momentum can translate into the first half here. Robert Lee.
He really does, but as far as Tennessee dropping out of the top 25, that's going to fluctuate so much. The way good teams are playing good teams early, that really doesn't mean that much.
Louisiana Lafayette controls the tap. This is Jordan Howell, or rather Willie Lego and Jordan Howell dueling. 2 point guards who are late additions to both lineups.
The biggest thing right now is see if they can get Mouton and Dees going right away. I just think that when you're struggling, you got to get your best players going as quickly as you can.
This is Dees with the ball, and the shot clock under 10. Not a great three-point shooter, but man, is he strong off the dribble.
You know, I talked to a lot of coaches that have played against them, and they really love him with his toughness. They say he can beat you a lot of different ways. He just showed on the drive right there.
Lofton in the Tennessee offense. They would like to see Lofton shoot even more. He's averaging 16 a game.
What they're running is a flex on the baseline where they're basically doing cuts with the guy in the low post coming from the weak side to the ball side and trying to get some post-up action.
Bradshaw, a little give and go. Open for a 3. And Dane Bradshaw, a guy that really had a breakout year last year, the glue guy of all glue guys for Bruce Pearl. And he opens Tennessee scoring with a 3.
Well, Tennessee made a living last year playing small ball, and that's what they're doing with the 3 guards. They're really looking to penetrate, suck up double teams, and kick to the open guy and knock down 3s.
Lego driving. Dees off the screen. They will run a lot of bodies off whoever is defending Dees. Good look inside. Wallace missed it. Howell pushes. Jawan Smith, offensive.
And that's something that happens when you have a young basketball team.
Avery Milson drew the charge. We're just underway at the Cajun Dome. This is a 2-for-1 series. Lafayette, Louisiana played at Tennessee last year. It was a close game. Tennessee won. And they'll return the game next year with Tennessee coming here this season. Dees. This is Mouton. Lob pass for Hart, and if Louisiana Lafayette can get points down low, there'll be trouble.
They really show great patience. One of the things in talking to Dees was his maturity. When you and I talked to him before the basketball game, and he understands his role, he understands what he's trying to do as far as getting the other guys involved in the game.
Bradshaw, nifty look down low. Mouton out to Dees. The overtime loss to Cal State Fullerton, a 3-point loss on the road to Oral Roberts for Louisiana Lafayette. And everybody knows what Oral Roberts has done. Bruce Pearl was talking about how many good mid-majors there are, and he knows that. I mean, he was a great coach at Wisconsin, Milwaukee before he arrived here at Tennessee.
Well, one of the things with the so-called mid-majors, they're getting guys that are staying for 4 years. And so, therefore, they understand the offense, they understand the system, and they're very tough out for a lot of teams.
And, of course, Oral Roberts knocked off Kansas.
Utilize that and get some huge upsets.
You saw Duke Cruz coming out for Tennessee. Wayne Chisholm comes in. Both of those guys freshmen. Lego. And Chisholm has his first rebound. Lofton, nice give, and Bradshaw with the left hand.
That's Tennessee basketball. They really want to push it. Now they're coming up with their pressure. There's two ways Tennessee likes the pressure. They like the pressure in order to turn you over. They like the pressure in order to set the tempo. That was more of a tempo type of pressure.
Of course, Bruce Pearl learned that pressure by the side of Tom Davis,
who is the master.
Yeah, Boston College, Stanford, and Iowa. Pearl was on board for all three of those stops.
Don't forget Lafayette. I played against him when I was in college. I played at Gettysburg, and he used the same pressure back then.
Yeah, but Bruce wasn't with him then. Wrong shot. Lego leads the break. Louisiana Lafayette with the ball, down a point. 4.5 minutes into this one. There's Mouton's first three. Howell with the rebound. Jordan Howell getting the starting nod for his ball handling and his defense and his ability to get the ball to that man, Chris Lofton.
That's why he's in the game. You know, it's funny when you have a guy that can shoot the ball as well as Lofton and the coaches tell him he's got to take more shots. That doesn't happen very often, but that just shows how unselfish he is.
Bradshaw the pick, get it to Lofton. Here's a three, bang, just like that.
That's Tennessee basketball. That pressure, they hit a three, then they come up, they pressure you, they turn you over, hit another three, and they get on a run.
We told you he was good.
See, one of the things that they try to do is throw over the top. And they came up with the steal that time, as Bradshaw did. He kicked the ball to Lofton and knocked down a three. And when you're able to be as small as Tennessee is, you have more quickness on the perimeter, and all of a sudden, instead of the power being in the paint, the emphasis is on ball handling and shooting, and they do a very good job of handling the ball and shooting it. And that's why the turnovers in New York really hurt.
And I don't think, Perry, people realize how young Bruce Pearl's team is. They're young at the point guard spot, and they are young at the center position. Those are not two positions to be young at.
No, every coach will tell you you're 5 and you're 1. Your point guard and your center position are the key positions on your team, and they are young in those positions. But and also it's a system that it worked last year. They have to see if it can continue to work, and that's one of the things that coach, when they had shoot around today, was talking to his team when he told them, I've won a lot of places like this, and to get them to make sure they buy in.
That Lofton flurry has Tennessee on top. Their biggest lead of the ball game by 7. Change at the point for the Raging Cajuns. Rhett Hebert with the ball right now. Ramar Smith in the game for Tennessee. And a steal. Cajuns get it back. Dees. Off contact. Buries the jumper.
He's really good off the dribble. He can take the bumps and he can still knock down the shot. I think the Raging Cajuns have to play through Dees. He's got to get a touch just about every time down.
They've got to get somebody on Lofton. Strong move inside by Castley. Valentino Hart for Louisiana Lafayette got a hand on him.
What Lafayette is doing now is they're putting these, having them come off the screens.
And the Volunteers have started off hot, 11-6, an early lead.
You're watching FSN South.
This presentation of College Hoops on FSN. Tennessee has come to town. The Volunteers and the Raging Cajuns. The Sun Belt Conference is where Louisiana Lafayette resides, and they've had a nice run in the Sun Belt over the last 6 years. Bruce Pearl and Tennessee last year won the SEC East. And of course went to the NCAA tournament as the #2 seed. Dees, difficult shot with Bradshaw on him. Look at Dees, rip it down. Held ball, arrow to Tennessee.
Dees is the leading rebounder for Louisiana Lafayette in the last couple of in a couple of basketball games. He really is explosive going inside and be able to get the offensive rebound. But again, they're trying to get him coming off the screens instead of letting him initiate the offense like he did earlier. And he's jumping in trying to get the contact that time. But it just wasn't called.
Yeah, I think he did get a little bit of contact there. So maybe a break for Tennessee. Lamar Smith with the ball right now. Young freshman. Also in the game, Ryan Childress. Jawan Smith. And a rebounding foul. Courtney Wallace for the Raging Cajuns.
Well, you know, in shoot-around, I thought Coach Pearl did a wonderful thing. He got his team together. He talked about the change in the lineup with Jordan Howe starting instead of Lamar Smith. But he explained it to the whole team, so everybody understood that he wasn't blaming Lamar for anything. And it was just something to make the team better and to kind of get him going coming off the bench.
Courtney Wallace with another foul. He picks up 2 quick ones. And very good recruiting class. Maybe not an All-American, but 4 guys who are going to have an impact on this program.
And I think the All-American titles are overrated. I think you have to recruit kids to your system because each coach emphasizes something different. And for Bruce, he likes guys that can think, that can run and catch.
And defend and press and cause turnovers.
And so, you know, for him, he needs his post people to be a little bit more mobile, a little bit more athletic than maybe some other coaches would. So it's a good fit.
Few coaches have put their stamp on a program quicker than Bruce Pearl last year.
Well, I tell you, yeah, I talked to him at shoot-around. He looks younger. I mean, and I've known him for a long time. He's so energetic. He has so much emotion, and certainly he has transfused that to his basketball program to the University of Tennessee.
Lamar Smith. This is Ryan Childress, the sophomore out of Cincinnati. Thought about the 3. The lefty Josh Tabb. And Tennessee right now winning the war on the boards. Smith. Jawan Smith denied. Here come the Raging Cajuns. Mouton missed the 3.
That's the shot that the Cajuns need Mouton to make. He's been making that early in the year.
Robert Lee.
Now you see the Tennessee press. They like to put pressure over the ball so the guy doesn't have a free throw in. And you see it creates a turnover because they were able to take away the vision of the inbounder.
3 seconds in the lane.
Done an excellent job here. This program has had tremendous success over the years. They've been able to get kids out of the state that have been really, really fine players. And he's got a couple guys sitting out. And once he gets those guys back with what he has, I think this team will really be a force in the Sun Belt.
Elijah Millsap and Derek Gray should have both of those guys in a week. So far, it's been David Dees that has shouldered the score, and this is Dees. Tried to draw contact, strong rebound and put back Valentino Hart.
That's something that Louisiana Lafayette has not had in some of his previous games, a good inside game, and they're getting a good offensive rebounding tonight.
Good ball movement. Childress misses the three. Mouton runs it down. Hebert running the point for the Raging Cajuns.
You know, Rich, early in the season, you're going to see a lot of ebbs and flows because as coaches start subbing and trying to get some continuity with guys coming off the bench, other teams are picking up runs and things like that. So that's why, you know, a 2-point or 4-point lead doesn't mean much this time of the year.
Ross Mouton, who is averaging over 20 a game, gets his first two. Bruce Pearl doesn't like the ebb that he sees here, his young freshman.
Without question, because everybody is capable of scoring, and so you can't let up on anybody. In high school, you get a couple guys that really aren't very effective, so you don't have to guard them. You have to guard everybody at this level.
And Pearl said to us that when he recruits a player, how that player defends before he steps on a college campus is important to him and the recruiting process. You don't hear that much.
No, you don't, but again, he recruits to his system, and I think that's very effective.
Good, strong move from Duke Cruz, who might be the strongest man on the floor right now.
Yeah, he comes from a very fine program in Virginia Beach area. He's going to be an outstanding post player for them.
Jawan Smith, his first three.
And that's Tennessee basketball. I mean, all of a sudden they hit a two, they come back with a three. They beat you in fives, it seems like, instead of twos.
Boy, Louisiana Lafayette is really struggling with the press right now. Rarely do you see a team at home struggle with the press. Tennessee right now is getting it done, both ends of the floor. How do you break this press?
Well, right now the spacing is bad for Louisiana Lafayette, and they got guys in position, and they got to move to the open gaps. You know, you start out in a certain set, but you got to find the open area. And right now, wherever they're lining up, they're just kind of standing. And coach is taking the time out to explain to them, just relax, stay calm. And I think he's got to put the ball in D's hand in the backcourt.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Tennessee Press has done is it's gotten the ball out of the hands of the Raging Cajun guards. Well, you can see the turnovers already 7.
Yeah, right now, I talked about them pressing for tempo and pressing for steals. Right now, they're pressing for steals. They're going after blood.
Jordan Howell back in the game for Tennessee. Bradshaw is as well with Lofton. Tennessee will go 5 deep on the bench. Howell with a straight-on look, and he drills it. Jordan Howell.
And that's Tennessee's offense. They have tremendous spacing. They put the ball on the floor. They penetrate and pitch. They really feed off of each other.
Well, Tennessee has their biggest lead of the ball game. A 10-point lead, 10.5 left. The Cajun Dome. Cal State Fullerton was here. Left with a 2-point overtime win. Nevada's coming in, a top 25 team. And, of course, Tennessee is here tonight. He walks.
And what they do, I think, as fine a job as anybody. You see the penetration there, suck up the defense, hit the open shooter. And that's Tennessee basketball. They really do a good job of getting in the lane, sucking you up, and kicking to the open shooter. And when you can get in the lane, you don't have to be big because you're still getting your inside game and you're forcing the defense to collapse because you're doing it off the dribble.
This is an area that has troubled Louisiana Lafayette, and that's falling behind in the first half. They're down 10 to Tennessee. They were down big to Cal State Fullerton.
Well, when you don't have consistent shooting, the tendency is to get down because you can't expect Dees and Mouton to carry you on every possession.
Bradshaw, 3 seconds in the lane, another turnover for Tennessee.
the other subtle thing that Tennessee's pressure has done, now it's being forced to initiate the offense, so therefore he can't be a recipient of passes and be able to score because they need his ball handling.
Tennessee got a hand on that one. Milson runs it down, and Hebert brings it across. Hebert and Lego split time at the point for the Raging Cajuns. This is Mouton. Good baseline defense by Jordan Howell.
It is. Yeah, right now, Louisiana Lafayette has to just play with some poise, make 2 or 3 passes, try to get the Tennessee defense moving a little bit instead of trying to make one pass and attack.
Dees, a scoring flurry early, and he rises and misses from 18. Lofton on the break. Lofton finishes.
Tremendous drive.
With contact, Chris Lofton has got 8. Tennessee's back up by 10.
What's so impressive about the way Tennessee, they're playing with confidence right now. I mean, they're sharing the basketball. They're moving their feet defensively. They're really looking sane.
You watch that move by Lofton, and it sounds funny, but one of the knocks on him coming out of high school was he wasn't athletic enough. Mouton starting to heat up, couple buckets, back to an 8-point game.
If they can get him coming off that baseline screen, catching and shooting, he's much more effective, it seems, with that.
You can see the 3-point shooting tonight for Tennessee. Bradshaw feeds the post. Duke Cruz. Duke Cruz gonna get a shot at a 3-point play the hard way. One of the top newcomers in the SEC. He's just a freshman, 6'7", 233 out of Hampton, Virginia.
You know, he played for Boo Williams' AAU team, has had so many tremendous players out of there. Alonzo Mourning, J.R. Smith, just a lot of outstanding basketball players out of that area.
Missed the free throw. Back to a 10-point ball game. True to form, it's been Dees and Mouton for Louisiana Lafayette. Those two combined are averaging 43 a game. They're going to need to score some more if they're going to beat Chris Lofton in Tennessee. Lofton off to a quick start. And so are the Vols. College basketball up by 10, 8 minutes left.
Well, Coach Pearl has to be really enthused about the performance of his young team tonight, the way they bounced back, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, after giving up 101 points to North Carolina, they needed a bounce-back night. And Bradshaw feeds the post. Cruz. Hart with the block. Another turnover. Cruz.
They're just so active defensively. I mean, they're getting their hands on just about every ball. Louisiana Lafayette really has to slow down a little bit right now. That's a bad area to catch the basketball against that pressure right there in the corner.
Hart. Hebert for 3. Got it.
If you take your time, hit the open man, and reverse the basketball, you're going to get a pretty good look.
Their 3-point shooting so far. One of the tough things for the Raging Cajuns is simulating this type of pressure in practice. You don't see this type of press and this type of pressure very often. Hebert thought about it again.
The hardest thing when you have this type of pressure, it goes from full court to half court. And the thing I'm impressed with Tennessee tonight is they go from their full court pressure, get back, and they're playing good half court defense. That's a very, very difficult thing to do because you have a tendency to get a little helter-skelter, not pick up your men, and wind up giving up some open looks.
Dees the miss. Cruz. Boy, he looks like he's going to be a presence, even though he's 6'7". He's a big 6'7". Dees. Foul. It's a charge and it's not a popular call in Lafayette, Louisiana.
That's a tough one right there. You see he's driving. That's a tough one. Looked like his feet were there, but normally that goes to the offense. And I think that's what the people in Lafayette wanted the usual.
We looked at it twice, and it's still tough to tell.
Yeah. But this is a good refereeing crew right here. Any coach, any place would take this crew.
Mike Thibodeau, Doug Schaus, and Tom Eads, your officials tonight. 9 turnovers for the Raging Cajuns. And against Tennessee, those usually come back as points. Hebert saves it to Mouton. A couple of Louisiana kids. Jump hook missed by Milson. Lofton, catch, shoot, bang.
That's his game. He's as good a catch-shoot guy as there is in the country. And he doesn't need a whole lot of space to get that shot off. You talk about something hard to simulate in practice, getting you guys understanding how quick a guy can get the shot off.
Hart, nice drop step to avoid the charge. Valentino Hart's got 6.
That was a set play right there.
That was a long shot there.
Well, they said they wanted him to shoot the ball a little bit more, so he's just trying to be coachable.
That's right. Another steal. Jawan Smith. Raging Cajun turnovers have been turning into Tennessee points. Biggest lead of the night.
What they're doing, they're cheating on all the screens. Now Tennessee is going zone just to try to throw this young Lafayette team off. They've done a good job of shutting Mouton down.
Louisiana Lafayette, Hebert penetrates. Hey, Valentino Hart's got 8 points inside.
Yeah, that has to be something that has to concern Bruce Pearl, the size inside, because he's going to be playing against people in the SEC that have legitimate big-time low-post scores.
Like Wayne Chisholm. Ryan Childress is going to go to the line and get free throws. Timeout on the floor. And look at that. He's not real tall, but Robert Lee is going nose to nose with Avery Milson. Tennessee off and running with a 10-point lead. Tennessee on top of Louisiana Lafayette. And the Volunteers have been getting it done from beyond the arc.
Well, I tell you what, the difference between winning and losing for Tennessee is knocking down threes. As there you see Mr. Lofton knock down a 3. And the one thing they do is such a great job with their spacing. You see a drive right there, a kick right there to Howell. He knocks down the 3. This is what they were not doing in New York. They're not turning the ball over tonight, and they're knocking down their 3s, and that spells success for Tennessee.
Yeah, Lofton 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Tennessee is a team 6 of 14. Ryan Childress, the sophomore, out of Moeller High School in Cincinnati. What a great high school that is in just about every sport. Football, some great baseball players that came out of there. The Griffeys, the Larkins, the Bells. And
sound like you know a little bit something about baseball, huh?
Well, you know, I was talking to Bruce Pearl about that. Pearl, a Brewers fan, having spent some time in Milwaukee. D's off the screen. And he draws contact, and for the first time, he's going to get to the line, and that's where he gets a lot of his points.
You know, he reminds me of Dominic James a little bit from Marquette. They both physically have done a lot alike, and they like the contact. And for that, they're both similar. They like the drive, they like the contact, and they can finish with the contact.
A lot of people are saying, where did this guy come from? I mean, he's averaging 23 a game. Well, he came from Liberty University. He transferred after his sophomore season. He played on that NCAA tournament team at Liberty and wanted to change, and finds himself after a redshirt year as a Raging Cajun.
He's very, very mature, as we talked to him earlier. I mean, he understands what his role is, and he's really looking forward to those guys coming back in the next week and adding something to his basketball team.
He had 37 points and 10 rebounds against Cal State Fullerton, and a foul inside as Mouton went over the top of Tony Pasley.
You know, this is something Tennessee does when they get a lead. They look to go after you a little bit. They run what we call a flex action on the baseline, where they look to post up and try to get to the foul and get to the line or get an easy shot. That's been very effective for them over the last 2 years Coach Pearl's been there.
Now, Tennessee has not shot free throws well this year. They made 45 straight free throws as a team in practice today, but they're struggling from the line tonight. Strong move by Chisholm, and the tip will go. I'm not sure if it was Chisholm or Childress that got the tip. Another turnover. My goodness.
Well, the spacing is just really bad. I mean, after Tennessee scores, Louisiana Lafayette has to get to their spots against the pressure, and they're not doing that. So therefore, the guy that's taking the ball out doesn't have anybody clear-cut to throw the ball to.
They look like a team that hasn't pressure this year. There's a turnover. Louisiana Lafayette D's. Another Raging Cajun turnover. Lamar Smith. Difficult pass, and a nice catch by Tony Pasley to finish it. Back to a 13-point game. A little more up-tempo. Mouton slashing and finishing.
Well, that time they were able to get the ball in the middle. They were able to come down and finish. And as a coach, you know, Louisiana Lafayette has been told they've gone over the pressure. They went over it again and shoot around. And now the kids just have to step up and execute. And sometimes in the heat of the game, guys just don't respond.
Pasley, a difficult move. And he's got 4 quick points. The sophomore out of Indianapolis. Hebert with Mouton on the wing. Hebert takes it with a right hand. 7 for Hebert in the first half.
If you can get the ball in the hands of your ball handler, you can take advantage of the pressure.
And a moving screen, this one on Wayne Chisholm of Tennessee. Our Chevy halftime report is coming up. We'll talk
with the man-to-man. Then as the ball is thrown in, they're getting a rotation and trap. But initially, they're matching up man-to-man.
A little better job of handling the press there. Dees in the lane. Held ball. This one's going Louisiana Lafayette's way. Duke Cruz is one strong dude.
He's going to be a really, really fine basketball player.
Bruce Pearl, when he saw him at the Nike camp in Indianapolis, said he was the toughest guy in the camp, and he told his assistants, that's the guy we need. And they got him.
All you have to do is spend a little bit of time with Bruce, and he can talk you into just about anything.
Agreed.
They're really putting a lot of pressure on the passer and making the passes tough for Louisiana Lafayette.
Dees working against Pasley, and he was essentially tackled by Pasley. And now Pasley barking at Dees, and I think Pasley's going to pick up a technical foul. So he's going to get 2 fouls, and he's going to draw the ire of that man.
But now that was not a very smart play right there. He was trying to be very aggressive. Everybody knows how good Dees is. He's trying to put a lot of ball pressure on, reaching in, and then he kind of takes him down with that. And the referee makes the call, and he's kind of jawing, and I don't know if he's jawing at Dees or the referee, but it wasn't received very well. So the reason why coaches don't like things like that is Tennessee's playing well, has the game under control, and all of a sudden now something like that happens, momentum swings on a play that just doesn't have to be.
Dees with the free throw. Hasley with 4 personal fouls. He just picked up 2 of them.
The coach is trying to explain now how momentum can swing from that.
Well, it was an 11-point game. It's now a 9-point game. And Louisiana Lafayette can draw even closer.
And especially on the road, you don't want to do anything to get the home team going.
Mouton. And you know what? They're going.
And again, coach is letting them know about it. He's saying it's all your fault with that. The crowd has arrived.
Strong drive by Ramar Smith. Valentino Hart the foul.
The one thing that Tennessee has done, their spacing has been very good all night. And because of that, they've been having driving lanes. And one of the things that happened to them in New York was they were turning the ball over because their spacing wasn't as good. And they weren't able to kick the ball when they got into the gap, or the help side was coming over and they would wound up walking or turning the ball over that way.
This is a young player, Lamar Smith. It's going to be a real good one before he leaves Knoxville, but still learning, and I think more so on the defensive end than on the offensive end. Hebert barely keeping his feet, but still keeping the dribble.
They have them extended pretty good right now.
Final seconds, first half. Dees got contact, no whistle, and the putback will not count. First half ends. Robert leads, and the Raging Cajuns looked like they were going to get blown out. But then momentum changed. Bruce Pearl and the Volunteers will have to settle for an 8-point lead at the half. Coming back to the Cajun Dome.
Send South.
Our Chevy halftime report from the Cajun Dome. Tennessee on top 38-30. The Volunteers on the road against the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana Lafayette, a mid-major, so to speak. And for Bruce Pearl in Tennessee, now he knows what this feels like. Of course, he had such a successful run at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, going to the Sweet 16. And earlier tonight, we talked to him about the change in roles for him.
Well, I'm glad I'm at Tennessee and finally at a place where we can, really compete for championships at the highest level. But I understand what Louisiana Lafayette is all about. I knew what Wisconsin-Milwaukee was about. I knew what Butler did to us wasn't such a terrific upset, in Madison Square Garden. So I know these teams are capable, and they only get a certain number of shots every year against a high major. This is a big, big night for them. And with our young basketball team on the road, we're going to have to handle it.
And Perry Clark, one of the reasons that Bruce Pearl and Tennessee are here tonight is because he knows what it's like to be the underdog or the mid-major. He said he will schedule mid-majors and go on the road and play them while he's the coach of Tennessee.
Well, not a lot of people will come in here and play, and obviously that it helps the RPI coming in and playing on the road, but his team has really played well in the first half, responding from New York. I thought the way they've handled the basketball, the way they haven't turned the ball over, and getting Lofton involved has been critical.
And he's one of those coaches, Bruce Pearl is, that will look at the defensive end first. He's got to be pretty happy with his defense.
Oh, the enthusiasm, the energy, the effort, and the execution, because that's what he was concerned with in shoot-around today.
Now the Raging Cajuns show little signs of life there at the end of the first half. When we get back, the Chevy halftime report will continue from the Cajun Dome. We'll talk with Robert Lee when we get back.
Capital Toyota, where we're dealing every day.
You're watching FSN South.
At the Cajun Dome, Tennessee, a 38-30 halftime lead. Our Chevy halftime report continues from Lafayette, Louisiana. If you just joined us and you missed the first half, here's our Cliff Notes version of what happened in the first half.
Louisiana Lafayette got off to a decent start. A right-handed layup by Ross Mouton, but too much three-point shooting from Tennessee. Dame Bradshaw with that three, and then turnovers and lots of them. Louisiana Lafayette turned it over 14 times, and Tennessee scored an awful lot of points off those turnovers with some loud dunks and some long threes. And here are the first half stats. 52% Louisiana Lafayette shot, but when you turn it over that many times, look at Tennessee, just 7 turnovers and 16 points off of the turnovers. And the Volunteers shot 48% from the field. So there you have it. The pictures, the numbers, our Chevy halftime report with Tennessee on the road in the Sun Belt against Louisiana Lafayette. 8-point Tennessee lead, second half, straight away. Tennessee on the roads coming to the Sun Belt. And in the Cajun Dome, the SEC has visited the Cajun Dome before. They've opened this place in 1985. This is the 5th SEC school to visit. Mississippi State's been here a couple of times. Ole Miss, Georgia, Auburn. And you can see that the Ragin' Cajuns are 3-3 against the SEC on this floor. You never got to this floor, did you? You never came up here when you were the head coach at Tulane.
They would always call. I would always say I was full. Well, I tell you one thing that is very interesting. Louisiana Lafayette shot 52% in the first half, but they had 14 turnovers, and that negated a really good shooting first half.
Chris Lofton led the way with his 11. 3 of them came from beyond the arc for Tennessee. And on the flip side, for Louisiana Lafayette, you knew that David Dees was going to score, but how about Valentino Hart?
Well, he's done a good job. They've been able to penetrate and get him the ball in the low post, and he's done a pretty good job there.
Out of the Bahamas, he's a senior. He has 11 rebounds in this ball game.
Well, I know Coach is happy to see his guard, Dees, is not his leading rebounder. Again, that's an awful tough thing to ask your guards to do, to be your leading rebounder. So I know he feels pretty good with that.
And one thing Dees has to do, and you can see him there, number 21, is take care of the ball. Of those 14 turnovers, 6 of them were his.
Yeah, well, they're jamming him on everything, and he's got to slow it down and take his time. And against the pressure, his teammates have to come and meet the basketball for him.
Now Bradshaw, Smith, along with Cruz and Lofton for Tennessee.
But again, they're running that flex cut on the baseline. They're really looking for post-ups and trying to take advantage of matchups.
Back cut, Lofton. Oh, nice. And a good look from Bradshaw. Lofton's got 13. Here's that pressure again. Hart, Hebert, Mouton, James, and Dees on the floor for Louisiana Lafayette. Adam James getting the start in the second half for the Ragin' Cajuns.
I still think they have to really try to get Mouton off a little bit.
There's Dees with a clean look.
The difference that time, they were able to make 2-3 passes, able to reverse the basketball, and they got a pretty good look.
Long three. Cruz. And a nice look inside. Jawan Smith was the man that missed the three, followed his shot, and got a lay-in as a result.
Well, Tennessee does a very good job of passing the basketball.
Mouton. This is a guy that averaged 4 points a game last year. He's averaging 20 points a game this year.
Well, he can put the ball on the floor, and that time what they did was they used him as a pressure release. He got the ball, and then he just brought it on up, and they never really closed out on him, and he was able to knock down the shot.
Lofton. Wow. How do you defend that?
But he was off balance. He could have went straight up and straight down. He was leaning that time. He's just a fine shooter.
He may be the best contested shooter in the country.
And Dees turned it over again.
And Lofton's got another look. and he hits another one. 19 for Chris Lofton. And Tennessee's got their biggest lead of the night. Turnovers are turning into threes for Tennessee. The Volunteers on the road and on fire, especially Chris Lofton.
You're watching FSN South.
A 10-point flurry in the first 2 minutes of this second half has Tennessee on top by 14. One of the frustrating things for the Raging Cajuns, when they do break the press, they're getting opportunities to score.
Well, what they did was they flashed up their four-man, and nobody came to play him. He dribbled on up and knocked down the jump shot. That's there most of the time. They're going right back to it again. That play again, he just missed the shot.
And Tennessee back the other way. Jawan Smith feeds Duke Cruz. And Duke Cruz flattens Ross Mouton.
When you're getting pressure, you need the big people to make themselves available and help break the pressure. But because they're pressing, that's one reason why Tennessee can play what I call small ball. You know, they can go with 3 guards and sometimes even 4 guards because of the fact that they're playing full-court basketball.
Mouton's missed a couple shots in transition. This is Howell. Howell has had a settling effect on Tennessee, both offensively and defensively.
He really has. He's been able to get them in their offense. He's made a couple open shots for them. He's really played well.
Bradshaw, very unselfish. Lofton, that must seem like a layup for Lofton. A wide open 19-footer, he missed it. Duke Cruz is going to get free throws.
I'm really impressed with Cruz. He really does a great job on the offensive glass because he's basically the only one in there fighting for the rebound. And he's done a good job tonight, offensive rebounding.
Here is Cruz. 9 points, 5 rebounds a game so far. The combination of Cruz and Chisholm will be the big kids for Tennessee. Time now for our Southeast Toyota trivia question. Leading scorer when Tennessee beat Southwest Louisiana in the 1982 NCAA tournament. So at 1982, go back into Tennessee history.
82, I was coaching at Georgia Tech. I think it was a guy from Marietta, Georgia, probably.
The guy that was in the NBA for, what, 35 years? Not quite. Another turnover, another bucket. Jawan Smith. And this is almost laughable.
Well, the spacing is really bad. It's like when the guy takes the ball out of bounds, everybody's running to trying to get to the ball, and Tennessee can have one guy play 2 guys because the spacing is so bad. And again, you know, Louisiana Lafayette, coach went over this today in shoot around and explained the spacing, but sometimes in the heat of the battle, kids just forget.
Difficult shot, and it goes. First 2 points for Courtney Wallace. Look at the turnover, 16 of them.
You know, when you watch this Tennessee team, you know, understand that they're missing Mr. Wingate, who got kicked off the team, who defensively really gave them a tremendous presence inside and was a veteran. So, you know, that has not helped them as far as this early part of the season, learning the system and everything.
Yeah. Andre Patterson, C.J. Watson gone from last year's team, and of course Wingate. And there's a guy, Robert Lee, that is missing some parts. He lost Dwayne Mitchell and Michael Southall from last year's team. Mouton, nice dish, Hebert. Rhett Hebert's got 10. The Raging Cajuns need a few more of those to climb back in this one. Chisholm, a 3. He has hit 8 of those this year at 6'9", 245.
Now, if he can step away from the basket and knock that one down too, that makes him even more effective on the low block.
Bruce Pearl and Tennessee. The press is working. Lots of points as a result. Tennessee on top on the road. 15-point lead in the second half over Louisiana Lafayette. Let's flash back 2000 NCAA tournament. Tennessee had a number 4 seed, but the Raging Cajuns down 3 at the half. Ron Slay had 15 off the bench and a 5-point win for Jerry Green's Tennessee Volunteers. Jerry Green back in coaching on Kelvin Sampson's staff at Indiana this year.
Yes, he is. And they've got a really good ball club, and Jerry's doing a fine job up there.
Louisiana Lafayette with the ball. Holding on to it has been the difficult thing for this ball club.
When they haven't turned it over, they've gotten some pretty good looks, and they're shooting a pretty good percentage.
And Dees hits his first 3. They draw within 12.
Again, the flex cut for Tennessee, and this is very effective for them. They got great spacing, and they're getting the ball in the paint.
Chisholm out of control, and they may have gotten bailed out. Courtney Wallace sporting a patch above that eye. Robert Lee's team going to look very different in a couple weeks when they get Derek Gray and Elijah Millsap. Millsap, a freshman, just waiting for the NCAA clearinghouse to clear him. His brothers, of course, great college basketball players. His brother Paul with the Utah Jazz. His brother John is in the NBA Developmental League, and Elijah Millsap is going to be a nice addition to Robert Lee's team.
This Louisiana Lafayette team should challenge in the Sun Belt, you know, especially getting those pieces back. And, you know, these kids are getting better. And, again, this is a difficult game tonight for them against this sort of pressure. They won't see this sort of pressure. Ooh.
Let's hope everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Dees. Childress is going to get the block. Let's hope Dees is okay. And he's going to the free throw line. A hard-earned 2 free throws.
You know, when he drives, he looks for contact. He never fades away from it. And, you know, that time he looked like he came down on his hip. But he is really, really a good offensive player and can score under a lot of pressure.
The Sun Belt Conference is a big conference. I mean, in number of teams and in geography. There are 13 teams in the Sun Belt. Goes all the way out to the University of Denver. And got a couple teams from Florida. Florida International, Florida Atlantic.
The changing of conferences the last time has really kind of spread everything out, and certainly the Sun Belt has changed its face, but it's always been a very competitive conference, a conference that in the NCAA has always fared well. And this Louisiana Lafayette team will be one of those teams that will fight for an NCAA berth.
Dees again. Last year it was South Alabama that went to the NCAA tournament from this conference. Still a 12-point lead. The closest that the Raging Cajuns got, they crawled within 7. Remember the final moments of the first half. That's as close as they've been for a long time. Lofton, one reason why. Oh, nice pass to Childress.
Great ball screen. Post got Childress rolled on the ball screen. Lofton found him. And that's the part of his game Coach Pearl talked about, his ability to put the ball on the floor and make plays off the dribble.
In off-season, that's what they worked on with him, is passing and defending. And he's improved so much in those areas. Bruce Pearl has said, well, wait a minute, you still got to shoot, too. And that's where we want him to shoot more comes from. And he's done it tonight. He's got 19 points. Mouton off a screen. That's nice.
He shot down with confidence. And this Louisiana Lafayette team is just kind of hanging around. Tennessee has their runs and look like they're about to knock them out, but you look up and it's a 10, 11-point game, and as long as it stays like that, you know, Louisiana Lafayette has a shot going down the stretch.
Well, Chris Lofton last year hit 114 threes, and when teams come out to guard that line, that'll open up a passing lane or two.
Well, whenever you can pass the basketball, I've always felt as a coach, and most coaches will tell you, that it makes you a better offensive player, makes you a better scorer, because they have to play you honestly. If you can't pass, then teams will double you and really work to take away your jump shot because you can't beat them any other way. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why they've been working so hard with Lofton on his passing and putting the ball on the floor.
And of course, last year he had a C.J. Watson to get him the ball. This year, it's Ramar Smith, a freshman. Jordan Howell getting the start tonight. Smith in there right now with the ball, running the volunteer offense. Josh Tabb. Lofton gets a screen. Blows by one, blows by two, and buries a three. He's got 22.
Yeah, when a post guy steps out on a guard, he can't loan him. You know, we used to say he's got to stay with the guy. If he's going to step out and switch on him, you can't just stay out there for a minute and then run back to your man, and that's what happened on that play. Lofton had a wide open jump shot.
Hebert feeds the post. Wallace is fouled by Chisholm. You got two strong guys in Chisholm and Cruz. Now, Bruce Pearl hasn't been able to play them both together at the same time. They've kind of been an interchangeable part. Another good look at that three.
The post guy looked like he was going to come out and play him, then he went back to his man and he left him wide open. But getting back to what you're talking about, Coach Pearl playing the two freshman post guys together. It's early in the year. He doesn't want to do that right now for continuity purpose. But I guarantee you by the time they get in the heart of the SEC, those guys will have enough reps where he can play them both together. Because offensively, both scoring and low post and rebounding, they do a very good job.
What has gotten into Ross Mouton?
Well, we talk about that at halftime. It's important for him to step up and get his numbers.
Lamar Smith. Childress' tip. And a Tennessee foul. I mean, as Bruce Pearl watches, Ross Mouton last year took a total of 128 shots. And he's almost approaching that number already this year.
I was teasing before the game. I said, the coach shouldn't let you shoot like this last year. He just laughed and said, you know, he came off the bench. He understood what his role was. But he said he really worked very, very hard this summer because he knew he had to play meaningful minutes. And I still tell you, Rich, the summer is where kids really can step up and improve their game.
Dees. The tip won't go. Ball loose. And a turning shot by Valentino Hart. He's got a double-double, and the Raging Cajuns within 10 and the ball.
I'm not sure Coach Pearl liked that shot that quickly because with this crowd getting into the game.
Hebert, difficult shot, and he makes it. And momentum has swung here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Now, this is where Tennessee has to show some poise. I'm sure they'll go with that baseline series that they've been running and look to spread the floor and try to get some spacing.
Lofton with a 25-footer. Childress. Lofton wide open. He missed another. Cruz.
Cruz did a tremendous job on the glass.
Weathered that storm. Robert Lee and the Raging Cajuns are starting to rage a bit. Down by 8. This presentation of Mouton fouled.
The roof would have came down if he had made that three-point play. But again, you got to have your 4 and 5 men come back and help against the pressure, and that's what Mouton is doing. One of the things, and this is why playing this type of game this early in the year on the road with a young team, Tennessee's playing well, but a couple buckets, a couple mistakes, the crowd gets into it, and this Raging Cajun ball club is capable of stepping up and having a good run. Finish.
Both free throws as close as Louisiana Lafayette has been in a long time, within 6. Powell, it's a turnover.
We talked about at the top how this crowd this team has to feed off the emotion of this crowd. That's what they're doing right now.
Remember, though, Bruce Pearl's team was the best road team in the SEC last year. They had some big road wins. Mouton missed the 3.
He shot that a little quick. He didn't get his feet set on that one.
Jawan Smith. Jawan Smith. And a free throw.
He took that with confidence. He went coast to coast with that, and he was determined he was going to put that in. That's the sort of confidence that young players have to play with on the road.
Remember last year, Tennessee won at Florida, at Georgia, at Texas, at South Carolina, at Kentucky. They were a great road team.
Lane violation.
Cajuns get it back down by 8. See the turnovers. D's. Boy, a hard foul by Cruz. And Cruz right now, I'm surprised he didn't get a technical. He was in the face of the official. And I think he's fortunate he didn't get one.
Yeah, they getting a little frustrated right now. A little physical underneath. He came over the top. Clearly was a foul. And again, and Coach Pearl did a smart thing. He's taking him out, explaining to him on the sidelines. You know, it's okay. We're playing hard. A foul was called. Let it go.
James goes to the line. Adam James, a senior and a hometown kid. He and Mouton were high school teammates at St. Thomas More. Cruz on the bench with 3 personals.
The rebounding for Louisiana Lafayette has been really critical. Right now, they're out rebounding Tennessee, and that's been, to me, very, very important.
Back to a 6-point game. Believe it or not, there's 10 minutes left in this game.
It's a lot of time.
Bradshaw in trouble.
It's important for Tennessee now to stay with what's been good to them. Spread the floor, get your penetration, get good looks.
Bradshaw. All Lofton inside. Chris Lofton's got 24 to lead the way for Tennessee.
That was a huge rebound right there. And again, he was able to get it because of the spacing.
Steal. Bradshaw. No finish. Got it back. Missed again. Hebert up the floor. Mouton. Yeah. Five-point game.
This place is rocking.
Jawan Smith. Not a good shot.
No. Mouton looks a little winded right now. That's why Coach Lee is telling him to slow it down a little bit. I think right now they need to go to Dees.
Dees with the ball. Dees with the bucket. It's a three-point game. The Cajuns are raging right now.
Now you understand why I never made this trip down I-10, buddy. Dees right there on a great drive. It's just like what I told you earlier. This time of the year is so great because you go to your bench, you get different chemistry, turnovers, guys missing shots, just trying to get continuity. Big leads early don't mean a lot.
Josh Tabb is off the bench for Tennessee. This is Lofton.
I'm sure he's trying to get Lofton a look on this possession.
He's got 24. It stays with Tennessee. 20 on the shot. Was it tipped? No. Good call.
Look for a high ball screen to Lofton.
Ball on the floor. Held ball. It's Louisiana Lafayette. Timeout on the floor. We've got ourselves a ball game. The Raging Cajuns within 3 against Tennessee. Dees off a screen. Dees. Short. Lofton.
Dees is better when he takes it off the dribble and attacks the basket, I think.
Bradshaw. Dishes to Chisholm. Ball is loose. Bradshaw's got it. For Lofton, who drives and missed the layup. My goodness.
Both teams are playing so hard. Mr. Bradshaw really is a guy that just makes things happen for Tennessee. I mean, he penetrates, he dives after there. You see him diving after loose balls. He's on his knees, making a pass right there, finding Lofton wide open. I mean, he's just been really all over the place.
Foul was before.
That was a set play.
Adam James had a handful of Wayne Chisholm. 15 foul. James with his second personal. Bradshaw, nice look to Lofton.
Great back cut. He popped out like he was going long and then just cut to the basket.
Big bucket. Tennessee back by 5. Tabb, very good on-ball defender. Hebert. Dees, there's the dribble. And he missed the shot, but got the rebound. Mouton, he'll take the 3. Hebert the loose ball. Hebert the look. Bradshaw, big steal. Numbers, charge.
Tremendous play that time by Mouton, but again, the man Bradshaw, he's just all over the place. Hebert's playing, he's really playing outstanding basketball, but he's got to understand who he can pass the ball to and who he can't. I thought he should have really looked for either Mouton or Dees on that pass. It looked like Hebert's hurt a little bit. He's coming off the floor.
No, the buzzer sounded.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him.
Yeah. They should let him know if it's an injury.
Yeah.
And the official blows the whistle and Hebert is coming out.
And Coach Pearl said, what about down my end? Can I get a couple calls?
Willie Lego comes in. That looks like cramps. Lego started the game, but it's been Hebert since. You can see the turnovers this half. Dees.
Right now, these of Newton have to take just about every shot.
Lego. And he charges. As good as a turnover.
Yeah. And Newton was telling me he was open in the corner, but right now, I mean, it's close. You got to play through your two scores right now. The mistake he made, he got too deep and got up in the air.
Cramp is gone. Hebert is back. But if it's cramped once, it can seize up again any moment.
Right now, Tennessee really needs to execute.
They've got a small lineup out there right now. Bradshaw down the lane. Nice look. Kick back out to Howell. Bradshaw looks at the shot clock. Into the corner. Jawan Smith stripped to the ball.
Good defense that time by Louisiana.
Mouton, man in the air. Mouton hits it. Three-point game.
It's amazing. You know, Coach Pearl's over there resting Lofton. I'm not sure if I would have him resting right now.
Just listen to this place.
We talked about feeding off of this enthusiasm.
Bradshaw, long three. It's a foul. Duke Cruz. Yeah, they've come roaring back. James misses the free throw.
Good adjustments at halftime. Obviously, Coach Lee and the coaching staff, they cleaned up the turnovers on the press. And we talked about at halftime, they were shooting a high percent. They were shooting over 50% in the first half, but the turnovers were hurting them. They eliminated the turnovers, and they continued to shoot the ball well.
James draws the Raging Cajuns within two. Bradshaw. Lofton back in the game.
Lafayette has to take away Bradshaw's penetration because he does a great job of passing it.
Oh, Lofton! A step back three.
Maybe Coach Pearl knew what he was doing by resting Lofton there because he came back with fresher legs and hit a huge three.
29 for Chris Lofton. Mouton off the screen. Hart. Mouton now got a mismatch out high with Chisholm. You could see Robert Lee wants the ball back to Mouton. And out of his range. The putback won't go. The tip won't go. It stays with the Raging Cajuns. Time out on the floor. Intensity. Bruce Pearl feeling it tonight. Tennessee on the road, up 5.
You're watching FSN South.
This presentation of College Hoops on FSN is brought to you by Dodge. Tennessee on the road in Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, our Southeast Toyota trivia question. Leading scorer when Tennessee beat Southwest Louisiana in the 82 NCAA tournament. Who was it? Well, he looked an awful lot like Chris Lofton does tonight. Dale Ellis, who did play 30 years in the NBA, I think.
I remember him because I was at Georgia Tech and they were mad because we let him get away from us out of Marietta.
A 5-second turnover. Boy, as you see Lofton with his 29 tonight.
That was a huge turnover right there.
Yeah, you get the ball underneath your basket and you can't get it inbounds. In a game like this, that's trouble. Chisholm, Lofton. Lofton's got a little Dale Ellis in him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Inside, it's a battle. Duke Cruz, or rather Wayne Chisholm, kept his headband intact, but that's about it.
Again, great space, and Lofton was looking to come off the ball screen, penetrates, and I tell you what, the Tennessee team, I'm telling you, they're very, very unselfish. I mean, when they penetrate, they're looking to get the ball to the open guy.
Chisholm has struggled from the line this year. 9 of 22 before that one. And a big offensive rebound by Chisholm. The Raging Cajuns drew within 2, but it's back to 6.
And Tennessee's going to be very, very patient right now. Lofton or Bradshaw will create the play.
This is Howell. Chisholm, he's a good three-point shooter. Wow, way up to get the rebound. Josh Tabb, 2 straight offensive rebounds, 2 cycles of the shot clock. We're now closing in on 2 minutes left in this game. Bradshaw, Howell. Finally, the Raging Cajuns get a rebound. Down 6 with 2 minutes left.
Look for Mouton and Dees.
This is Dees. Man fell over, threads the needle, and is fouled by Chisholm. Actually, the foul's going to be on Lofton. And it's his first. And Dees goes to the line.
One of the things Lofton's just trying to tell children, don't say anything to the referees. And I think you talk about the difference between high school and college. In high school, maybe you can talk to the referees a little bit more. In college, you really don't need to say anything to them. They make the call, you just go to your spot.
Well, especially if you're a freshman.
Especially.
If you're Chris Lofton and you've been in the SEC a couple of seasons, you get a little leeway with the officials. If you're Wayne Chisholm or Duke Cruz, new on the scene,
it doesn't happen for you.
It's a little shorter leash. 2 free throws for Dees. The lead is down to 4. Another big possession for the Volunteers. Howell. Bradshaw, back cut, Lofton for a layup.
Bradshaw is so smart with the basketball.
Back to 6.
Still plenty of time. It's just 2 possessions.
Dees hits a 3. The tip. And a foul on Louisiana Lafayette.
It looked like Bradshaw's going to go to the line again. Great block up by Bradshaw. And again, I mean, Tennessee playing the small ball. You know, but these guys can catch, they pass, they make great decisions with the basketball.
Our Dodge drive of the game, Bradshaw to Lofton. Dame Bradshaw, I think, surprised a lot of people last year. He really, of all the Volunteers last year, flourished under Bruce Pearl. His game really came out. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals per game, 27 minutes a game. I mean, he's the type of guy that just eats up what Bruce Pearl has to preach.
Well, that's because he plays so hard, and he's skilled, and he plays with such enthusiasm. He plays so hard all the time. It's obvious to see why Coach Pearl loves to have him in the game.
He hit 2 of the biggest shots all year for Tennessee. 2 layups in both wins over Florida. Remember, Florida, the national champion, didn't win the East last year in the SEC. That man in Tennessee did. They were 12-4. 22-8 overall.
Well, it was a very, very special year, and you know, a lot of times the coach comes in and he can put a system in that best fits that team, and I thought the system he put in has best fit this Tennessee team. They don't have a dominant low post player, so to run any sort of offense where you need that wouldn't work. He spreads the floor out. He's got very good perimeter players. They're very deep on the perimeter to use their skill level as far as being able to pass, catch, and make decisions to be successful. That's why he was so upset with the turnovers that they had in New York, because they cannot beat people if, in fact, they're going to turn the ball over, and they haven't done that tonight.
And Chris Lofton certainly has taken Bruce Pearl's advice and taken more shots. Game reset, you see the score and the time. Both teams 10 team fouls. Tennessee's got the arrow as well. And the lead as we're under a minute. The lead is stretched to 8. It was down to 2. Bradshaw touched it last.
And again, he was smart enough. That wasn't his guard, but he read the cross, and Bradshaw switched out trying to make the steal.
David Dees with 18 points. Ross Mouton with 22. But Louisiana Lafayette needs some shots, and they need them in a hurry. This is Dees. Double teamed. Hebert. Mouton, difficult shot. Chisholm the rebound, and for Tennessee, if they can hang on to the ball, they're going to escape the Cajun Dome with a win.
This is a great win for Tennessee. To bring a young team in to get challenged the way they got challenged, with the crowd into the game, Louisiana Lafayette making shots. They had to step up and make plays. And as a coach, you know, you want your team to have the ability to step up and make plays when they needed to. And I tell you what, this will give them a world of confidence and give them a chance to go back home and speak in their own biz and play some games at home.
Our Lincoln Mercury player of the game, Chris Lofton, with a career-high 31 points. 7 of 11 from beyond the arc. And Howe drops 2 free throws. The Raging Cajuns made a run at it, and they brought themselves within 2. Dees misses the 3. Tennessee withstands the charge and will head home to take on Murray State on Friday night at 5-2.
And I think both coaches should be proud of their ball club.
There they are. Bruce Pearl, Robert Lee. Bruce Pearl said this would be a great test for his young ball club to come into this environment. They were tested. And with the help of Chris Lofton's 31 points, they have passed that test. We'll put the finishing touch on this one as Tennessee has defeated Louisiana Lafayette. Back to the Cajun Dome after this. Falls to 1-4. Tennessee is now 5-2. And the Volunteers will head home to take on Murray State. Louisiana Lafayette has to get ready for a top 25 team. Nevada coming to town. And so it doesn't get easier for the Raging Cajuns.
Do you want me to sit in on this, or you just want?
The Cajun Dome is not an easy place to play. Bruce Pearl is here to tell us that. Coach, your young ball club withstood quite a surge, not only by the Raging Cajuns, but the fans here tonight.
You know, the fans turned out tonight. I'm really happy for these guys down here. They really appreciated Tennessee coming down. They really did. And scheduling this game. And, you know, road wins are tough. And I do have a young ball club. You know, we've been home, I think, twice. And we've been Madison Square Garden now here on the road. So we did a lot of growing up tonight.
Yeah, and for this ball club, quickly, we only have a few seconds left. Murray State on Friday, nice bounce back from the NIT.
No doubt, no doubt. The Lofton showed you something.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely did, and he made tough shots, and he was hunting a shot, Perry, wasn't he?
Bradshaw played. I know why you love him. I mean, you got to have him.
He is the glue guy. He does it all for us, and there's a lot of better players in the country. I don't know that I'd take anybody over him.
All right, we'll see you Friday night against Murray State. Final, Tennessee wins it. We'll see you from the Cajun Dome.